can hold my body down.
What are we doing, Levi?
We are fixing the broken Civic for once again.
Yeah, the Civic broke.
Happens every like 2 months.
Yeah, it's half broken. It's just the clutch is making a weird chatter.
Yeah, it could be the tranny, bearing, it could be a lot of things. So we're gonna remove the tranny, find out what's gonna happen. Might have to get a new tranny.
Nah.
We'll find out.
The guys at my shop, I was telling them about it, and they said it could be the release bearing for the clutch, or it could be the pressure plate. Your pressure plate could have a crack in it, or a spring could have popped out, but they think that's unlikely since it is an aftermarket. Your pressure plate is stage 2, right? Not just the clutch?
Yeah, it's a full stage 2 competition clutch.
Yeah, so the clutch and the clutch and pressure plate should be fine. So we're probably thinking it's a bearing. But since he's not dailying this thing anymore, Buddy gets to daily the gas guzzling Ford. She's sexy though.
Just throwing the insurance on it.
And he went and got insurance for it today because we're planning on probably having the transmission out for a week in the Civic.
Yeah, hopefully only a week.
Yeah, we always say that. Like when we were turboing it, we're like, oh yeah, I get it done in like a week or two. Like over the winter, 4 months later, it's finally done.
Yep.
But tonight's probably just gonna be removal.
Well, setup too, I guess.
Setup.
Because
just basic stuff. CV axles, wheels. I don't know what all has to happen to remove a transmission. Engine, the tranny mounts, linkages. There's going to be pretty basic stuff. I don't think we're actually going to get the tranny dropped tonight.
probably not.
Depending on how long we work on it. I might be here till 2 in the morning.
I hope not.
Same. Got work tomorrow. So as far as I know, with transmissions and Hondas, I've done a couple at my own shop before. We take both wheels off. We obviously don't work on old ones, but like 2010s and stuff. Both wheels have to come off if you're dropping the tranny because the diff goes into both of them. So we take off all the suspension components, but we're gonna see if we can do it without doing that.
We'll see.
We'll see how it looks. We've never pulled the tranny out of this.
No.
Because when you turboed it, you just pulled the engine and you left the tranny.
Yeah. That gang.
There's a tranny. There's CV axles back there and they go into a diff. Y'all know how it works. It's light work. It's a project. So we're making a little bit of progress. We got all the electrical and mostly just electrical and bracket connectors up top done. I went in ahead and got the suspension unbolted so we can pull the CV axle out. And for the last like 2 hours, Levi's just been struggling with this exhaust.
It's so rusty.
It's only been like 10 minutes, but
The turbo gets too hot.
he's not having a fun time.
I hate the exhaust.
That's about it. We're gonna keep working.
Yeah, you should time lapse it.
Oh yeah,
Unless it takes too much storage.
no, time lapsing doesn't take that much storage. I'll time lapse it. Because the next thing that's coming out is CV axles. Oh, we have to drain the tranny fluid.
Pop the master off of that sleeve.
And the slave, the clutch line. This has to come off. But it's easy. I don't know if you guys can see, but right here, you can just unbolt it It's gonna leak though, and we'll have to re-bleed it, but whatever. There's no way around it. But with the suspension, if any of you guys own Hondas or Acuras and you want to do CV axles or you're dropping the transmission, basically to get the CV axles out, you just unbolt this big nut. And then you want to unbolt the fork here and your lower ball joint, which gives you play. So then when you remove this from the ball joint, you can swing this whole arm section out of the way. The CV axle just pops out. And it works mint.
The exhaust doesn't though.
Yeah, the exhaust doesn't. Actually, it looks like Galaxy paint. Oh, it's very sparkly.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty bad. I don't know. Normally it's like just gray, not
Sparkly.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just
That's a lot of synchro.
it's just
material.
second gear. That's okay. It still shifts. Okay, that's drained. We have to get shift linkage off CV axles, and then the tranny can drop.
Yep.
Everything's out. Last thing to do is the mounts and bell housing bolts, and we can drop the transmission. But we had to heat this one up, as you saw in the time lapse. But if y'all don't know this trick, this is naturally springed upwards. So what I like to do, we usually use a chain, but I have a rag. So if you tie a rag around here real tight, you can slide your screwdriver in between the rag and this and use that as leverage to pull down on this. And it makes it really easy. Oh yeah. And the shift linkage is all unbolted and just hanging around there. That's about it. It went by faster than we thought. So we have to do the mounts. There's 3 mounts. 1, 2, 3 somewhere back there in that fucking mess. So when you do the mounts on these, you have to hold the engine up with the jack, otherwise the engine will fall, since there's only 1 mount right here after you undo all the tranny mounts that'll hold the engine in.
Yep. No, well there's 2. There's a vertical one and an up and down one.
Yeah, there's 2. So we're gonna get the mounts out. Okay, transmission is ready to be dropped pretty much. We didn't think we'd get this far in the night, but all the bell housing bolts, the starter is out, all the mounts are out. There's literally just that 1 bolt holding this transmission up and then the dowels. So we can yank this thing out.
Yeah, we can.
So let's do that. Let's yank it. Yank a transmission in 2 hours. You know you're a mechanic when.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We got the transmission out. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But that's coming from inside the tranny.
Tranny rebuild time. Tomorrow's video.
Just wait. Here's his pressure plate. We're gonna take a nice, good close look at it together. Looks okay to me. Huh. You can't see your springs though.
What springs?
You should have springs on your clutch, right?
It's pretty diluted with oil, which might cause slipping. So I just replaced the rear main, so
That's true.
I must have done it wrong.
Yeah, is that your rear main leaking or is your transmission leaking?
No,
It's oil. It do be a lot of oil though. So yeah, that's probably it for tonight. But transmission got out about 2 hours. We don't know what we're gonna do now because there's nothing obviously wrong other than
the tranny.
the tranny making noise.
So we'll probably pull it apart. Not tonight.
You're gonna pull the transmission apart?
Yeah. It's fucked anyway.
Damn, bro. Might as well go buy a new one.
Yeah, I'll look online tonight, see if I can get a cheap one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll talk to the guys at our shops and see what they say.
Yeah.
Because they're the experts.
Then I'll clean up the clutch and stuff, see what's leaking.
But yeah, everything's dirty. If anything did have small cracks or anything, it's not like we can see it. But yeah.